Hello, it's Sheila, the Grateful Goddess, with tips and techniques on creating a life you love. So last video to you, I mentioned that I was expanding my speaking opportunities. And sure enough, I ended up a few weeks ago giving a talk to the Girl Scouts of Southern Arizona. And oh my gosh, what an honor, what a thrill to be a part of an organization that has done so much to create future leaders. And the founder, Juliette Gordon Low, in 1912 started this. And so part of it was the idea of we never know the full potential of the impact we are going to make in the world. There's no way she would have known that she would impact millions and millions and millions of lives, and that it would continue to grow and expand to the capacity that it has. And what I was saying, as I theorized, seeing as though I didn't have an opportunity to interview Juliette myself, I was saying, my theory is she met her needs first as she created a vision of what she wanted for her future. And that was, she desired to drive. She wanted to vote. She wanted to have choice over her life. And these were things that she did not have in 1912. So it was like setting the vision of what she wanted to fulfill her own needs, and then stating it clearly and with a vision for the future. And then, of course, people join that vision because it's the vision that they hold for themselves also. You know, I think that we live in a culture in which we are trained as women to diminish our own needs for the sake of others. And in reality, when we meet our needs first, we can be so much more of service to others. So it's like, it doesn't have to be an either or. It is the epitome of put your own oxygen mask on first. So anyway, that was one piece about how big someone's impact can be. And what it really is also if we want to overcome the patriarchal system in which we are living, we ourselves have to take ourselves out of it, right? Like, we are participating in it. And sometimes people think that when I talk about dismantling the patriarch, they think I'm male bashing, and I am not at all. I'm bashing the patriarch, not men. There are plenty of men who side on the side of wanting equality, equity, diversity, inclusion. So they are not part of the patriarchy, right? They are wanting what we're wanting, you know? That there isn't power over, but that there is power within when we come together and work together, and how much more we can accomplish from that standpoint. Okay, so anyway, in order to do that, what the patriarchy has done up until now, and has done a very, very good job of it, is instilling perfectionism and people-pleasing into our lives. And sure enough, when we take that on, we are teaching it to our daughters. So we want to eliminate that. And the thing about perfectionism is that it doesn't matter what end of the spectrum you are on, wherever you fall in that, whether you are somebody who sees yourself as a perfectionist and you're constantly striving to live to this expectation, it's exhausting, right? And then there is the not so perfectionistic. And I remember in my younger years, I was busy raking the yard, and my mom stops by and she says, "Oh, no wonder you accomplished so much. You're not a perfectionist." And, you know, she can see a leaf over here and a leaf over there. And I'm like, who has time for perfectionism? I have a million things on my list to do, right? And the odd thing about that is later in that week, I had a friend over, and I am making pesto. And so I'm dragging my hands down the stem of the basil leaf to get all the basil. And she says the exact same thing to me. She says, oh, no wonder you get so much done. You're not a perfectionist. And so regardless of their intention of why they said what they said, I took it to mean, you're not good enough. You're not doing it right. It could be so much better. Be better, right? So that's the problem with perfectionism. It doesn't matter where you fall on that. And the research is scary. The research, Carol Dweck with a Stanford psychologist has done a lot on growth mindset and the confidence in girls. And she shows that girls' confidence is equal with boys up until the age of 12. And then it declines 30%. 30%. So again, it's one of those things of recognizing if we want to instill confidence in our girls, we need to be kinder, gentler, more loving, caring, and seeing ourselves and all that we do. An even more disturbing statistic, 45% of the girls polled between 12 and 13 years of age say they're not allowed to fail. Not allowed, right? Which means they're not taking risks. Because they feel that they have to live to that level of perfectionism. So what can we do? We can combat our own perfectionism, our own people-pleasing, meet our own needs first. And so, as you know, I teach the law of attraction, and it's all about what we think about, we bring about. Our thoughts create things. And while that is very true, you also may remember that I said, if your thoughts, if you're having a hard time grasping the positive thoughts that you're wanting to create in the world, then you need to back up and pay attention to your body. The body's wisdom. We aren't paying enough attention to our own needs, our own nervous system, our own body's wisdom. And so when we care for our body first, then we're capable of having the thoughts that create the things we want to create in the world. So I hope that was a helpful tip for you today, and more to come.